But it cannot stay in the Shire.
No. No, it can't.
What must I do?
Frodo the Hobbit first sets out on his journey for the sake of the Shire. If his mission fails, the comfort and security of his homeland will be destroyed. But after a while, he realizes that the Shire is only a small matter in the grand scheme of things. In fact, he may not be able to save it at all. At that point, he can give up his mission completely and tell the council that someone else needs to take over. Or he can accept the job of ring bearer with a sense of puffed up pride, thinking, they trust me with this task, then I must be someone pretty special. Think of the applause when I've accomplished it. Or he can humble himself and do the task at hand, even if he sees no personal gain from it at all.
I will take it! I will take the ring to Mordor. Though I do not know the way.
And that, of course, is what he does. The word humility is related to humus, which means dust or earth. In ancient times, a humble person could be seen bowing down at the feet of someone great, acknowledging that person's power and lordship. In that respect, the humble person was close to the ground, literally in the dust. This sounds degrading to us, but let's not forget where the word human comes from. God says to Adam in Genesis 3:19, "For dust you are, and to dust you will return." God crafted Adam from the dust of the earth, and upon Adam's death, that's what became of his body. We humans are no strangers to dust. Perhaps that's why a hobbit is chosen for the task of ring-bearer. The hobbits are small folk, close to the ground. They do not fancy themselves as equals to the great and mighty people of Middle-earth. In fact, they want little to do with the glorious deeds of men and wizards and elves. Consequently, the ring does not have quite the same attraction and hold over these creatures as it does over the folks who think they are something special. Even though Bilbo, Frodo, and Sam are all vulnerable to the ring's power, they fight it better than many others. Gandalf, who knows these dear hobbits well, is prepared to stake everything on their innate humility. Because Frodo is humble, he is willing to serve. He knows that he doesn't have all the answers. He isn't even sure that he'll accomplish the task, but he's willing, even though it breaks his heart to think of all that will be lost, knowing he might never ever return to life as it was before he left the Shire. Little does he imagine the glorious outcome of his actions. The great celebration at the end of all things, when Middle-earth is restored and the true king is enthroned in Gondor, and the people rejoice in victory. There is victory on the horizon for us as well, but only if we're willing to humble ourselves and do whatever Jesus, our Master and King, puts before us. The Apostle Paul wrote, from personal experience, "Humble yourselves therefore under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." 1 Peter 5:6. Pride blinds us from seeing who we really are. Small people with big problems, who need help from someone bigger still. It keeps us from seeing what God is really up to in the great battle between light and darkness. It causes us to miss out on the amazing things God is doing, beneath our very noses, through people we never even suspected. Who would have guessed that the Ents of the Forest of Fangorn would march to war? Or that a relatively unknown people from the Shire would save all Middle-earth? As Sauron's eye rose elsewhere, bent on securing his position of power, a small, frightened hobbit named Frodo must make his way to the heart of darkness and cast the ring into Mount Doom. It's a slim chance, but it just might work. This is the lesson of Frodo, making his way into the heart of Sauron's kingdom. Humble service is the key to victory.